Over the past few episodes, we all wondered, just who is Shaddiq? Well, this episode shows us a little bit more of his character, and we're going to be talking about that in this video. Please like and subscribe if you find my videos enjoyable or helpful. This new episode shows us more interaction between Shaddiq and Miorine. It slightly hints at a romantic link between them, since they obviously had a past bond. Some might argue that he's just interested in the business part of things, but I honestly think it's more complex than just that. And on top of that, we're also introduced to major differences between these two characters. Following Miorine's creation of the Gundam company, Shaddiq sees the market potential of gun technology in the military industry. However, Miorine, wanting to align with the desires of her employees, intends to take on a different path, one that will focus more on gun technology's medical applications. Kinda reminds me of what Tony Stark decided to do later on with his company in Iron Man. It's also revealed that Shaddiq kind of disagrees with his father's goals. Sirius wants to get rid of Gundams, while Shaddiq sees potential in them. So it makes me wonder if this actually may end up as kids versus adults kind of story. There's a lot of potential conflict between children and their parents in the show, and it's not just Shaddiq and Sirius. Like, you can see a similar dynamic with Miorine and her father. And in the future, we might even see a conflict between Prospera and Saletta, who is seen to be manipulated by her mother. And given the fact that Shaddiq wants to commercialize the gun format's military applications, his goal may actually lead to a war, or may expand or support existing wars in the Ad Stella era. Some people are also speculating that Shaddiq is actually evil. And if he really does end up being evil, it's possible that he might use his girls as sacrificial lambs in the future. I mean, it's just a possibility. Now, going back to Saletta, she was actually really weird in this episode. It's like she was a loyal dog to her mother, as if she was under the spell of the witch, who was Prospera. It was so strange how obedient she was, how she immediately changed her mind after Prospera's very vague justification of the gun technology. And I guess the scene shows us that Prospera indeed is an Asian parent. So it makes me wonder what kind of main character Saletta will be in the future. There are currently a lot of secrets being hidden from Saletta, and I wonder if her character would develop or change, or maybe even take a full 180 after these secrets are revealed to her. Secrets about her identity and stuff like that. And another interesting detail to point out is that she didn't recognize who Cardo Nabo was during that scene when they showed an old video from the past. In prologue, Eri actually met Cardo Nabo. So yeah, for now, it's up to you how to see this. It's either Eri really was fully brainwashed to a rather full extent, or she's really not the same person as Saletta. Yeah, believe what you want to believe for now. And I also want to point out that Miorine is actually starting to be the show's best character. Back in episode 2, I found it so weird that Miorine didn't question the Gundams, didn't question the dangers of Gundams. But now she's starting to. She's starting to wonder, like, why is Gundam such an issue? And why is Saletta not being affected by the gun arm technology's supposed effects? I mean, from the very beginning, Miorine has been carrying Saletta. Well, I mean, if not completely, still in a significant way. But now it feels that she's carrying more than just Saletta. She's carrying a lot of other characters. Some might even say she's carrying the show. Now let's go back to Grassley and let's talk more about the interesting things about that house revealed in this episode. Weirdly enough, while a lot of things about that house was revealed, we still don't know about Shaddiq's shady transaction with Nika. Though, we do get a little bit of suggestion that his transaction with Nika involves Ariel, because in this episode, we can see that Shaddiq is clearly interested in the Gundam. But yeah, we still get to see some interesting things about Grassley. We can expect to see Michaelis and Burger Pente really soon. We get to see Shaddiq's harem. And actually, it's very interesting how some of these characters, some of these female characters from the Grassley house, seem to have sympathy or seem to care for Miorine. This could imply that Miorine was previously part of Grassley House, considering her father used to be an executive for Grassley, and also considering she had a past bond with Shaddiq, so she might actually have a past connection with all of these girls, or most of them, and Grassley House as a whole, maybe. And more about those girls, I think it's safe to say that Cecilia now has a rival in the game of thick. And if you're wondering who my personal favorite is, it's probably the girl with the bare feet. Don't judge me. And another interesting thing to talk about is what Ghoul would do from here on out. He received Shaddiq's invitation to join Grassley, but it also seems Ghoul doesn't really want to join Grassley House, and he might just eventually join Gundam Company. And speaking of Gundam Company, let's talk about Gundam's future plans. Now, in the episode, Gundam Company is shown to have a focus on medical technology, on the gun technology's medical applications. So I'm wondering, how will the show further exhibit the technologies used? All of the Earth House members so far seem healthy, but that's probably because they're children and they're being kept in a safe place. But I wonder if we're ever gonna see one of them undergo an accident or get injured at some point, putting them in a situation where they're gonna need the gun technology to survive. And I also think it's possible that one of the non-Earthians may suffer something that can be saved by the gun technology. Who knows? Like, what if Shaddiq is actually half Earthian or something, and turns out he's not fully immune to the effects of or one of the older people suffer a disease that surprisingly can only be saved through gun technology. I mean, like, I still think that's within possibility. So yeah, overall, I can say so far the show has different characters with different desires that may shape the plot moving forward. And these different desires, these different goals and intentions have varying intensities, from something as simple as wanting to make a school to something as deadly as further weaponizing the gun technology. And we also have intentions as noble as using the gun technology for medical purposes. So it really makes you think how these different desires and goals would bounce off of each other to drive the plot forward. And that's it for today's video. Not too much to talk about compared to the previous episode, but it's still a very substantial episode. I'll see you guys next time, and you all have a nice day.